here we have today is the Whisper air compressor that we sell here at Micromark. And we also have the Badger Model 200 airbrush. I'm going to show you guys how to use the Whisper air compressor with an airbrush. Now, when it comes out, when you get it right out of the box, what the Whisper air compressor comes with is a 1/8 inch pipe thread fitting attached, and it also comes with a 1/4 inch adapter for bigger airbrushes or bigger air hoses as well. So if you have a smaller airbrush that has a 1/8 thread fitting, you just pop it right on. If you have one that's a 1/4 inch pipe threading, there's your 1/4 inch right there. It also comes with its own hose, which is really nice about this too, is that it has O-rings inside so that you don't have to use Teflon tape to completely seal the pipe threading. And on the back it also has a moisture release, so that when you're done with it and if you've been using it a long time or holding pressure in it for a long time, you can open that and let any kind of driplets of water that come out. It also comes with 2 Airbrush Characters, which is pretty convenient. With this one you have to put it in upside down, but there you go. With the Whisper air compressor, what a lot of people would do is, turning it to the plus is able to hold in more pressure. And let me show you with it hooked up. Now that it's holding 60 psi, what a lot of people will do is they will start to turn this dial and expect to be able to, it'll automatically start to kick on. And what you hear there, now that the compressor is also kicked on as well, is you're hearing the blow-off valve, but the blow-off of the excess air coming out of the compressor. And it's making the air pressure drop down to almost 0 psi. If we open it all the way, there's no air pressure being stored, it's just blowing off, or blowing off of the compressor. So in order to regulate air pressure coming out of the any kind of airbrush, it does sometimes vary slightly between the airbrushes. I'm going to show you on the Badger Model 200 right here. How you regulate air pressure is first, you pull the trigger, you watch it drop down. Now what I want to do is I'm going to drop it down to 15 psi. Right now it's at 20. I'm going to start turning this dial counterclockwise, or with the arrow towards the negative. I'm doing this slowly so you can see. Air starts to drop. There we go, that's just about 15 psi. Now what I'll be able to do is, spray coming out of my airbrush 15 psi with no problem. If you notice too, the airbrush, the gauge did go up slightly, but since this uses a blow-off valve, what will happen is it'll continuously stay on because the automatic shutoff is still at 60 psi. So let's say that, you're using your project, or, it works great as is, and then you step away, it won't automatically shut off, so you have to turn it off. Air pressure drops out, but the good thing is that if you were going back to your project and say you wanted it still to stay at 15 psi, all you'd have to do is turn it back on, you hear the blow-off valve, and still 15 psi will be able to come out of your airbrush. And that's the basics on how to use the Whisper air compressor.